Ever felt a sense of worry or fear in any situation, such as feeling nervous or worried about a test or grade? Well, for some, this sense of worry and dread is very persistent and affects their day-to-day life. According to the Medical News Today website, about 18.1% of Americans have an anxiety disorder. This is about 40 million people in the United States. I've done a lot of research about this topic, and I myself do suffer from anxiety. So the three main points I'll be covering today is first, what anxiety is, second, the three different types of anxiety, and third, a few different ways that people may cope with anxiety. So first, let's talk about anxiety. According to the Mayo Clinic website, those suffering from anxiety disorders may experience frequent, intense, excessive, and persistent worry or fear about everyday situations. These feelings can interfere with day-to-day life. People may avoid specific situations such as work or school because they're so anxious it might lead to a panic attack. There's no specific cause for anxiety, but some factors can be traumatic experiences or inherited traits. For example, like when I was 16, I first attempted to learn how to drive, and I had some impatient teachers, and so I ended up getting really anxious about driving, and that anxiety has not gone away. I got my license when I was 21, and even now I still have trouble driving, even though I do it every day. So far I've talked about what anxiety is. Now I'll be talking about the different types of anxiety. There are many different types of anxiety according to the National Institute of Mental Health. The three types I'll be talking about today are generalized anxiety, panic disorder, and social anxiety. Generalized anxiety disorder is a feeling of anxiety or dread which can interfere with day-to-day life. While some people may experience anxiety leading to a big event or a stressful time in their lives, people with generalized anxiety disorder, this anxiety is very persistent and can last for months or even years with no specific cause. According to the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, about 6.8 million adults suffer from generalized anxiety disorder, which is about 3.1% of the United States population. Generalized anxiety can go hand in hand with depression. However, even people who don't have depression can suffer from generalized anxiety disorder, and this disorder is twice as common in women than it is in men. So panic disorders are frequent, unexpected panic attacks. Panic attacks are sudden periods of fear, of intense fear, with no apparent trigger. Symptoms of a panic attack are fast heartbeat, sweating, trembling, chest pain, or feeling of doom or losing control. Many people who suffer from panic disorders will live in fear and be anxious about when the next one will come, because they just never know. Panic disorder affects about 6 million adults, which is about 2.7% of the United States population, according to the Anxiety and Depression Association of America. This disorder is also twice as common in women than it is in men. Social anxiety disorder is the intense and persistent fear of being judged or watched by others. This can interfere with day-to-day life, such as going to work or school. Those with social anxiety disorder can experience physical symptoms such as rapid heart rate, nausea, and sweating. They can also experience difficult making eye contact with people or talking less frequently and much more quiet than usual. Those with social anxiety will often avoid social situations. Social anxiety disorder affects about 15 million adults, according to the American Depression and Anxiety Association, which is about 6.8% of the United States population. Social anxiety disorder is equal in men and women. I've now explained how anxiety is defined in three different types of anxiety disorder. So now let's talk about how people cope. So some people with anxiety disorders are able to cope on their own. Some ways this can be achieved is through yoga, meditation, a healthy lifestyle like getting enough sleep and getting enough to eat, and having a strong support system at home like with your friends and family. Therapists can also be an amazing way to cope with anxiety, like through counseling. Like they can talk about what triggers your anxiety and discuss different ways to cope. Another way is medication, which of course everyone would talk to the doctor about to do that. So I have discussed first what anxiety is, second I talked about three different types of anxiety, and third I've talked about how some people cope with anxiety. So if anyone here can relate to what I've talked about above, just know that you are not alone. Thank you.